Alright, now that I've reviewed all of the Critters movies, all five of them, it's time to stop and rank them from worst to best. So we're going to start off with the worst. The worst one, number 5, Critters 3. This movie, despite being the movie feature film debut of Leonardo DiCaprio, is boring. Charlie is the only thing from the first 4 movies that I really like that carries over, that carries over, and he's barely in this one. We go to the big city, but we're limited to one freaking apartment building. No critters in the city, despite the fact that the alternate cover has them in a city, but that doesn't happen. There's only a few critters in here, a couple of them. There's not that many. It's trying to be super serious, and when I talk about a later entry in my ranking, that might be different, but here, after the first 2 were very outrageous and horror comedies, this one makes it very serious, and it just doesn't work. It ends up boring, so that's why it's last on the list in my ranking. Number 4 is the newest one, Critters Attack. I just didn't get this film. Is it a remake or reboot? Is it a sequel? What is it? We don't know. There's no continuity. There's no explanation as to what's going on other than Aunt Dee, or Helen, whoever she is, Dee Wallace, showing up somewhat. And the story is a little lackluster for me. Babysitting, and no, you don't care about the human characters in these films but they try to put so much story into the human characters in this film. You don't care. Oh, she didn't get into a college. I want to see critters kill people. But you do need some prevalence of a story connection with the critters and the humans. You don't. There's this story with the human girl, teenage college girl, whatever. She didn't get into her dream college, whatever. And then the critters come and just start killing. There's no story connection, really, with these characters, other than they start to attack them. That's it. And the ending just stops. There's no wraparound scenes or anything, or wrap-up scenes, whatever. Nothing. They invented a new weakness, pulled it out of their ass, where high-pitched noises can kill the Krites, even though that wasn't any of the other ones. And it's a reboot, which you should have specified. You didn't. This was marketed as if it was a sequel. Then we probably could have understood, oh, it's a reboot, so they had a new weakness, but they didn't. They introduced a queen Krite, which has more questions. All of the ones we've seen so far are male. How are they laying eggs? Is it like the is it like seahorses? The males carry the eggs? It just doesn't make any sense. This was more entertaining than 3, and I wasn't bored, so that's why it's number 4. Now, these last 3 are films that I wouldn't mind watching again. This next one's going to be kind of weird, but you can watch it without 3, but I don't want to rewatch 3 again, so who knows. But number 3 is Critters 4. I don't mind this film. I said that 3 tried to take it seriously. This one does too, but I think with a space story, you can, go serious. And I think it works for this film. Charlie is more prevalent in this, which I like because I like Charlie. Brad Dourif is in this. That's another big thumbs up. Angela Bassett, she's not bad. Although what weighs it down for me is it takes 40 minutes for us to have any critters in the film, or Krites. They completely changed Ug's character from what he was before. And they invented this stupid storyline crap at the end of the 3rd one where, although the only 2 eggs left in existence, so you cannot kill them. Despite the fact that they didn't care about that in the previous 2 films. So, but other than that, I enjoy this one. Number 2, last 2. You know what they are. It's Critters 1, it's Critters 2, Critters 2, which is it? And number 1 is going to be Critters, the original from 1986. And, yes, this is a fun movie. Billy Zane, he gets eaten. The world's longest sex scene that doesn't go anywhere. World's longest foreplay, I should say. Dee Wallace is in this. She's good. I like the Scott Grimes. He's good. For voice of Pinocchio and Pinocchio and Amber of the Night. Billy Greenbush is good. I like Emmett Walsh. It's always fun to see him. The characters are great. I love Charlie, as I specified before. And Ugg and Lee. They're great. Power of the Night. The streets are calling. It's fun to listen to that song, even though they played it a million times. During this film, I gotta fix the cover. But this is a fun little throwback 80s creature feature that is fun to throw on once in a while and just have a little fun. But number one, of course, is Critters 2, The Main Course, which is the sequel, direct sequel to the first one. It brings back Scott Grimes, brings back Ugg, brings back Lee, now with Hooters, and it brings back Charlie. Who's now a bounty hunter, and that's the only real major hiccup with this that I have. I know I didn't specify any negatives with this one, but I love this one so much that I'm putting this as number one because I love it more than the first one. But there is one little hiccup I have with this film, and that's the continuity errors. I'm going to be doing, there's so much continuity errors within this films that I'm going to do a top 10-ish, or count down all the continuity errors that are in these films, because in 5 films, just a short amount of films, even in the first 4 films, there was a continuity errors. So we're gonna dive into those eventually. But continuity error with this is that the house was all fixed, but they still left, and then he goes to visit his grandmother, who didn't exist in the first film. What's she doing here now? It just doesn't make any sense. But you got the Critter Ball. You got the critters attacking the freaking Easter Bunny. You got all this critter stuff. Also, the love interesting between what's his name? Brad and the obviously older teenage girl. Not needed. But this is a fun film. Can't talk about it enough. It's number one, baby, and there you have it. My ranking for the Critters franchise, if you don't see, at the top is Critters 2, followed by Critters. Number 3 is Critters 4. Critters Attacks, and at the bottom is Critters 3. There's my ranking. So what are your thoughts on the Critters films? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. As I mentioned in my last one, Rush Hour is coming up next. So be ready, and I'll see you in the next one.